Good morning. It's Monday the 9th of May with a very wobbly camera this morning. We're coming at you live from the Quality Inn. We had a really good stay here. I mean, it's not cheap, but the bed was really comfortable and had a bath, and Brian at the main desk couldn't give me enough stuff. He gave me a little deodorant. He gave me lots of shampoo and conditioner. Maybe he thought that I was a bit smelly and a bit dirty and needed a lot of washing. He gave us toothpaste. He was really, really generous. So we've just had some breakfast and we're waiting for Gidget to come and pick us up. Gidget and Gadget, the shuttle drivers, have been great. We've just bumped into another hiker called Chief, who's from Tennessee, who's walking with another guy called Rabbit, and apparently there's another hiker here called Main Man, so we'll see them out on the trail today, which is fantastic. We'll come over to charge at some stage and we'll find out what the plan is today, but part of the plan involves avoiding a shelter that there's been a bit of bear activity going on recently. So I want to see a bear, but not close up at night with his nose in my food bag. So it's just a beautiful day today, and we're looking forward to getting back out there and getting amongst it. Good morning, Charge.
G'day, Flash.
Isn't it a beautiful day?
Oh, look at this. I'm out here in the sun, just warming up. It's beautiful.
What are we thinking about? So we're in Great Barrington, Massachusetts.
Yes.
And we're just about to get picked up back on the trail.
Yes.
What's our plan for the day? We've got quite a bit of a late start.
Yeah, so getting picked up at 8, we'll be on the trail by at least 8:15, 8:20. And we've got a few options today, but I think we'll just do a 14.5 miles
Yep.
to the north Wilcox shelter. And there's been a bit of bear activity up there, so there's a mama bear with 2 or 3 cubs, and the cubs are juveniles, so just think naughty little fellas, and so they just don't know good stuff. So it'd be wise for us to be around a shelter. So there could be a few people here on the trail, which would be awesome.
Okay, now that sounds good. Well, we're just waiting for Gidget to come pick us up.
Yes.
And that might be her now.
Yeah, it's a good day though. It's going to be hey, we get to do this today.
We get to do this today. We're very lucky.
Yeah.
8 a.m. and we're on the trail. Gidget turned up early, picked us up, and it is just a beautiful, beautiful day. I've got my sun hat on the back of my pack so I can change it out, because I think it almost may be a sun hat kind of day. And just like that, there's been a change of headgear, and I'm even rocking rolled up sleeves. It's lovely walking in the sunshine, and it's quite nice to have got that woolly hat finally off the top of my head. We've been climbing for about an hour, and it's gorgeous up here, beautiful. And here's Chudge. You know, I'm not sure my day would be boring without rocks, but I'd be prepared to give it a chance. My turn. Made it to the turn-off for the Tom Leonard shelter. We're not going to go down there because we've only walked 5.3 miles. But Lake Buell Road, 1.1 mile,
we might get to have a look at a lake, which would be nice. We've been up the top and been a lot of trees and just smidges of views. Oh, there's the shelter down there. But what I'd really like to see is I'd like to come out to a clear space and actually have a look at a lake or have a clear look at a view, just to get some context in terms of where we are, because it's disorientating just walking around in the trees. You just don't have a sense of where you're going and what direction you're going, although clearly we're going north. I'm ready. I know. I'm ready. I'm going to go across the road because you know my relationship with roads is not good. And that's where we are. But we're going this way. It's not that I've ever had an accident on an American road. In fact, I've ridden my motorbike all over the United States on the right-hand side of the road. It's just, as a pedestrian, I really struggle just trying to work out which direction the cars are coming from. Walking out of the woods. I love coming out and getting a view of people's houses. And I love these red barns. Those red barns are gorgeous. It's obviously a farming area, and I'm being very nosy, peeking into their back garden. But it's one of the joys I get. I love looking at the places people live as I wander through. Oh, this is nice. We're coming down a path towards a lake. Not quite sure what the lake's called, but there's one of these lovely brown signs here, which may very well hold a bit much. The Pond Loop Trail. So that must be the pond. We are in fact going this way. But it's nice to come out of the woods, and it's really nice today just to have a different perspective. I always like looking at water. My preference obviously is the sea, but you know, I'll take a lake or a pond. It's beautiful out at this water, but you can tell it's a bit of a beaver pond situation, because see that, this is for us Kiwis, see that tree? Someone's chewed the end and felled it, and they've built, I don't know, a dam, a beaver dam, right in the middle of that pond. I'd love to see a beaver, but so far, no luck. Those are pretty flowers. Growing everywhere on the trail now. It's been a surprisingly hard day today, up and down the hills.
So you don't want me to just go to the Shaker campsite, it's only 4 miles.
Joe's suggestion is, instead of going 0.3, we could go another 0.4 and camp there. 4.1. Team talk time. We've come to the shelter with a nice bear box that we can use, that I'm just walking by. And yeah, we've had enough today. Slightly later start, but yeah, we've made it here in good time. It's a lovely afternoon, and we're going to get ourselves settled find a nice campground and just enjoy this place. Oh man, that's on quite a lean. So if anyone wanted to sleep in there tonight, you'd be sliding down that floor all night. Not my favourite signs to find on shelters and in the areas that we're going to camp. But we had been warned that there were active bears around here, so we'll be careful. Time to bust out the bug net. Bugs are really bad. So I've got my net and my shirt and my long sleeves and everything on, because anything to avoid getting bitten by the mozzies, I'll do at this point in time.
G'day Flash, sorry. Yep, a little bit cold, so my mind's not quite operating in high speed.
My fingers are working.
Got a couple options today. We can go to the upper pond shelter. It's about, it's cold, about 14.5 kilometres, miles.
Yeah.
Or we go another 5 after that. So we'll just see, we'll get there and we'll gauge. I haven't even looked at the elevation today. It's too cold. It is what it is.
We'll just start walking and see what happens.
We get to do this today.
We do. Can you see how my feet are a different colour? Beavers. Beaver dams. Those blimmin' beavers drop all those trees and create big puddles that we have to walk through, and unfortunately one foot made it over dry and one foot didn't. I've now got my camera, my phone, out of my pocket because up until this point, it's about 7 a.m. The wind was so cold I couldn't take my hands out of my gloves. But it's looking like it's going to be a beautiful day today. No hills so far, but I'm sure they aren't too far away. And the woods are beautiful this morning. Just in 4 miles, we've just found the Shaker campsite, which was 4 miles past where we stayed last night, and we've decided that we're going to stop and have a cup of tea. It's a really beautiful morning, and the woods are just lovely today. Oh, a bit of a change of scene, and I sense a hill coming up. The cold wind stopped. A cup of tea, a couple of fig Newtons on board. I'm ready. Headwear change. I have for a wee while had my woolly hat on this morning, but I've now changed to my sun hat and my sunglasses and my long sleeve shirt. I'm a bit concerned about ticks. Never seen a tick. Well, Joe may have had one on him the other day, but I don't want to have a close encounter with a tick, hence the long sleeves. But I do say I do look like a bit like a park ranger or someone working in some kind of official capacity with my long sleeved khaki shirt and my khaki pants. Never mind. Heading north. Oh, that's a neat looking building. Just come out. If I walk it's going to wobble because I've zoomed in. But looks like a farm with this kind of really neat tower with brass or something on the top. I'm going to have to take a closer look. I'm coming down and he's going up. Bit of climbing now. It's warmed me up. It's a beautiful day. Do I keep on saying that? I think I am. Lovely and beautiful are words I'm using a lot. But I'm just very appreciative of the weather. Ooh, we've got a view. How was the view, Charge?
Oh, it's lovely out there. Beautiful.
Oh, I'm going to go for a look. Let's have a look. Summit Vista. Ah. Oh, look. There's a little town down there. There's a cemetery. Those gorgeous red barns. And a house with a really interesting thing on top. Or it could be a church. Not quite close enough to see. Wow. Beautiful. Oh, I'm going to have to come up with another word. Oh. We're popping out onto a lot of roads in Massachusetts. And beautiful fields. It allows me to indulge my tendencies to look at people's houses. Because the houses around here are really pretty. Okay, let's see where we're at. We are... Oh, can you see that? Maybe not. Because the sun is shining so brightly. Joe's heading across the hill. There we go. It's a two-hand job. I'll head up here. And oh, into someone's field. Nice lake. Done a couple of climbs, wandering through the woods, trying to decide on our shelter for tonight. Got a couple of options. We've bumped into a couple of other hikers. There's a through hiker called Rabbit just behind us. He's come all the way from Springer. And another hiker called Double Luck, who is finishing a through hike that she, I think, started in 2018, but had to get off trail with an injury, I think. So she's doing the sections that she hadn't completed. We've met a few people on trail today. It's been nice. I think the beautiful weather has just brought people out. And then this beautiful lake. Never thought I'd say it, but it's almost warm enough that I wouldn't mind jumping in and having a swim. This really old chimney. The interesting thing about the Appalachian Trail is you still see remnants of people who used to live around here originally on these lands. And this is one of those remnants or artefacts that says people once lived here. I'm going to go over the overpass now. This overpass has got Appalachian Trail Beckett written on it. I think it's Beckett. But anyway, we're going over a busy road. down the other side. Still haven't decided 100% where we're staying tonight. It's a beautiful day for walking, so in fact we've gone further already than we initially planned. But we might ponder that shortly and decide what we're going to do. So we just walked across that, and I think we're about to walk across another one. It's really weird, you know, you're out there and in the woods and then you wander out and there's that. You might call that the Berkshires. I would call that the Berkshires. In fact, when I lived in England for 3 years, I lived in Reading in Berkshire. There you go.
In the end, we stayed at the Berkshire Lakeside Lodge, which was essentially a strip motel. It was very clean. The owner was really friendly, and it was simply 0.1 of a mile off trail, so we were just about able to walk there really easily. And it was great to have a warm bed, and we ended up washing our clothes again in the bath and having pizza for dinner. Delicious does that look?
Oh, yum yum.
Let's eat it. Good morning from the Berkshire Lakeside Lodge. I would have called it Berkshire, but it's Berkshire here. It's kind of funny walking through New England because all these really familiar English names, named places like Kent, Salisbury, Berkshire. I suppose that's why it's called New England. Let me think. So we're here because, it's nice and warm and it has a hot shower, but it's just 0.1 mile off the trail. And after we walked 16 miles yesterday, which was slightly more than we thought, we didn't want to walk another 4 miles to the next shelter. So we just wandered up the road and this was here. So it's lovely and clean. It's kind of a motel right beside the lake and right beside a very noisy interstate, but we couldn't hear it. So we washed our clothes in the bath, of course, ate pizza and had a really warm, toasty night. We've just made ourselves coffee in the coffee maker, eaten our breakfast, and we're heading off shortly. 6:15, and we're walking out of the Berkshire Lakeside Lodge. You can see that sign through there, through the trees. And it was a really good stay we had last night. We didn't just happen upon this place by wandering up the road. We knew it was here. And it seemed like a really great option to stay here and then stick to our plan for the rest of the week. So we're out for 6 days and we're walking to somewhere this weekend to avoid the rain. So wasn't that lovely, that old barn in there? That's so pretty. I love the buildings around here. They're beautiful. So 0.1 back along this road to get to ourselves back on the trail. I mean, I can see it from here. It was that close. Okay, let's see what's coming up. The October mountain shelter was, actually that was 7 miles where we could have gone last night. I think we're heading to the K Wood shelter today, which is 16 miles away. We've come up a mountain, Mount Beckett, through the woods, and now we're walking along beside this beautiful lake. There's more variety in our day at the moment. There was a time when it felt like we were walking through the same woods every day. But more variety.
which makes it really interesting. Really great walking conditions this morning, a little bit breezy, but it's crisp and it's clear and it's a joy to be out here. Good morning, Charge, in your Puhoi beer hat.
Sponsored by one of the best beers in New Zealand. Famous for the Puhoi pub just north of Auckland, Pilsner, my sponsor, well, the hat anyway. It's a good morning.
And it's keeping the sun out of your eyes.
Exactly. It's a lovely morning. It's 8:30 a.m. We've done 4.7 miles. Got 11.3 to go to the shelter, and it's been a good day. Lovely day. We've got out of the Berkshire Lake Lodge. That's a mouthful. Berkshire Lake Lodge.
BLL.
Yep, and had a instant climb. A good hill. Got the old blood going.
It's called Beckett Mountain.
Yes, and it was lovely actually. The temperature's just awesome. There is a cold wind, so when you're up on the ridges, it's cold. And I got my new shorts on, and I'm quite happy because I started with extra large shorts, then I went into large, and they were falling off me, and now I'm into medium. I haven't worn medium shorts since I was about 13 years old. I'm going to call these my school pants. Woohoo!
And let's not talk about our shoes. My shoes have got 600 miles on them. Your shoes, well, only about 400 miles.
No, about 500.
But we've got new ones to come.
Yep, and we were in Great Barrington a few days ago, or 4 days ago. I managed to buy some glue from the pharmacy, and I glued mine together because various parts of the grip had started lifting, and good old Gorilla glue worked.
Hey.
So I've got to get another 50, 60 miles out of these. Awesome.
Absolutely. Right, let's charge on, Charge. We've made it to the October mountain shelter. We've been walking for 3¼ hours. It's just over 7 miles. It's time to just sit down for a moment and have a cold drink and use the facilities if needs be. This is where we could have stayed last night if we'd kept walking, but it was another 7 miles past where we got off. And that was just too far. Just coming up to 9.5 miles. Been walking for just over 4 hours. So we're getting through it today. The terrain's been great. I don't know if you can hear it through my microphone, but there's a lot of shooting going on from in front of us, so I hadn't heard shooting for well over a week. Someone's obviously practicing something over there. So we've got another 6.5, maybe 7 miles to go, and we should get through that pretty quickly. Just cross this road. And we are heading towards, in fact, if you go and look at the sign, probably we've got this mountain called Mount Greylock, which is in this general direction, which is probably our first big mountain that we're going to walk over. We're not doing it today, but that's exciting. Our lovely day's progressing beautifully. The Kaywood Shelter, 3.7 miles away. Fantastic. I've just had leftover pizza from last night. We packed out our extra pizza. And you know what, when you've walked 12 miles, cold pizza is just delicious. In fact, I've still got some left over. I might have it for dinner tonight. But we're heading to the shelter. Look, there's plenty of day left to walk in, but we would have done our 16 to 17 miles, and we can just enjoy the shelter, enjoy just being here, because it's such a lovely day. And I think Chief, who just passed us, Chief from Tennessee, who is completing a through hike that he started sobo. So he started at Mount Katahdin and came south in I think 2018, no, last year. He broke his foot. Anyway, he walked past us, and I think he's heading to the same shelter as us. So that'd be really nice. We can catch up with him and just chat. It's one of the best parts of being out here. No matter how good a day is, it's always good to see that sign. So we're going to the Kaywood Shelter. There's a privy, long drop, and tent sites. Fantastic. And it's only 0.17 of a mile. So that's great too, because it means it's literally just around the corner. So it definitely turned into a sun hat and sunglasses day today. But it's been beautiful, really lovely. So warm but not crazy hot. I don't think the forecast is for it to get really cold tonight, so the nights are starting to warm up a bit. I think we have a plan for tomorrow. As we came over the ridge up there, we could see a township in the distance, and in fact not too far in the distance, and it's a township called Dalton, and our plan is to walk into Dalton, through Dalton tomorrow, grab something for lunch, and then just keep walking. Here we are, home sweet home for the night. So we've got a privy that's not a million miles away. Nothing worse than having to go for another hike to find the long drop in the middle of the night. We have a bear box, which makes life really easy. We have a map, which gives us a description of where the tent sites are, and we have a shelter with a bright red roof. This looks promising.